Hello students. Students, we are studying 11th chapter of Class-VII Science, that is transportation in animals and plants. And in our previous video, we have studied about circulatory system and first part of the circulatory system, that is blood, in which we have studied about blood, components of blood, blood group, and blood transfusion. So this is the second part of this chapter, in which we will study about the two other parts of human circulatory system, that is blood vessels, in which we will study about arteries, veins and capillaries, and the last part of circulatory system, that is heart, and after that we will study about heartbeat. So students, first of all, we will see the second part of the circulatory system, that is the blood vessels. So inside our body, there is a system of pipes or channels or tubes through which blood flows. So these pipes or channels or tubes are called blood vessels. Means blood vessels are the complex system of tubes in which blood circulate across the body, and these complex system of tubes are called blood vessels. So some of these blood vessels carry blood away from the heart, some other bring blood back into the heart. So three types of blood vessels are there, that is arteries, veins, and one more type of vessel is there, that is a fine network of fine blood vessel which connects between the artery and the veins. You can see in the image also. So these third type of blood vessels are called capillaries. So three types of blood vessels are present, that is arteries, veins and capillaries. So first we will see arteries. So arteries are the blood vessels that take blood away from the heart, are called arteries. Means arteries are the blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart. So arteries are deep seated means they are deep beneath the skin, they are located deep beneath the skin, except some places as the wrist, the temple, and along the side of the neck, where these are close to the skin. Next thing, the wall of the arteries are thick and elastic. Means thick and elastic walls are present, and three layers of walls are there, that is elastic outer layer, smooth muscle middle layer, and smooth inner lining. So these walls of arteries, they are very thick and elastic. They are thick because the flow of blood in the arteries are very high, means blood flows with high pressure, so these thick wall can withstand with the high pressure of blood flowing into the arteries. Next point is that arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to various body parts except pulmonary artery. Means all arteries, they carry pure blood, that is oxygenated blood, from the heart to other parts of the body except pulmonary artery, because pulmonary artery is the artery which is an exception to other arteries. This artery carries deoxygenated blood or impure blood from heart to the lungs. So this artery also do the same thing as the other arteries do. Other arteries also carries blood away from the heart to other body parts, and this artery also, pulmonary artery also, it carries blood away from the heart to the lungs. But the main difference is that all arteries, they carry the pure blood, oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts, other body parts, but pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, that is impure blood, from heart to the lungs. Next thing, that is valves are absent in arteries. Valves, they are present in veins, and we will study in veins. Valves are absent in arteries because there is no need of valves in the arteries. as the blood flows rapidly and at a very high pressure in the arteries, and this high pressure of blood strongly pushes the thick and elastic artery walls. So these walls stretch and shrink as the blood passes, and a throbbing movement can be felt. That throbbing movement is called pulse. So that pulse can be felt at any of the places where the arteries lie close to the skin. As I told you, that arteries are present, or they are located deep beneath the skin, but at some places of our body, as like the wrist and the temple or along the sides of the neck, where the arteries are lies close to the skin, so there only we can feel the pulse or the throbbing movement, because the blood flows with a very high speed and very high pressure in the arteries. So whenever you fall sick and you visit a doctor, he often holds your wrist and counts something. So he counts the pulse rate by feeling the pressure of the movement of blood through the arteries. So the artery which is present in the wrist part, that artery is called radial artery. So in radial artery, the doctor counts the pulse in your artery. So one more thing, mainly two arteries means two main arteries are present. So about one I have told you, that is pulmonary artery. One more artery is there, that is the largest artery, or we can say largest blood vessel in our body, that is aorta. So aorta is the largest artery, and it is connected to the left ventricle of the heart, and this main artery means aorta, it carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle of the heart to the all other parts of the body. So first of all, this aorta receives the pure blood or oxygenated blood, and then it divides into smaller arteries called arterioles, and these arterioles they distribute the blood or impart the blood, pure blood or oxygenated blood, to all parts of our body. So this is all about arteries. So one main thing is that all arteries, they carry blood, uh, they carry blood, or we can say they carries the oxygen rich blood away from the heart to various parts of the body, except the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery also, it carries blood away from the heart, it carries blood to the lungs, but it carries deoxygenated blood. So all other arteries except pulmonary artery, all other arteries, they carries pure blood, but pulmonary artery carries impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood. Next type of blood vessel is vein. So veins are the blood vessels that bring blood towards the heart from all the parts of the body. Means it collects the impure blood or deoxygenated blood from all the body parts, and then it brings the blood towards the heart. So the blood vessels that bring blood towards the heart from all parts of the body, these blood vessels are called veins. And these veins, they are located close to the skin. Means veins lies closer to the surface of the skin, and they can be very easily seen as a greenish blue lines you can see on your hands and legs. These greenish blue lines or tube-like structures, they are veins. Next thing, the veins, the walls of the veins, they are thinner and they are less elastic and less muscular, and they are also having three layers, that is elastic outer layer, smooth muscle middle layer, and smooth inner layer. But yes, they are very thin, because there is no need of thick wall in the veins, because as we have seen in the arteries have thick wall. Why? Because blood flow at very high pressure, that is why there's a need of thick wall. But in veins, the blood flows at very slow pressure, at very low pressure, at very slow speed, that is why there is no need of having thick walls. So veins have very thinner walls. Then walls are present in veins As we have seen, valves are absent in arteries, but valves are present in veins because they are present to stop the backward flow of the blood, means they ensure the unidirectional flow of the blood. Okay, then next thing, blood in the veins, they do not move at high pressure because that's why I told you the walls are thinner. So walls are thinner means they move at very low pressure. Next thing, veins carry deoxygenated blood, means impure blood rich in carbon dioxide from all the body parts to the heart. Okay, so again there is one more exception. All veins, they carry impure blood or deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. And one more similarity between the other veins and pulmonary vein, all veins, they carry blood from all the body parts towards the heart, and pulmonary vein also, it takes the blood from the lung, and it takes that blood, it carries that blood, and it brings to the heart. So there is a similarity between pulmonary vein and other veins, that is all these veins and pulmonary veins, they carries the blood from all the other body parts and bring to the heart. But there is a difference between all other veins and pulmonary vein. All veins contain deoxygenated blood, they carries deoxygenated blood or impure blood, but pulmonary vein carry pure blood or oxygenated blood. So all veins, they collect the impure blood or deoxygenated blood, or we can say the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, they collect that deoxygenated or impure blood from all other body parts and they bring that impure blood to the heart. And pulmonary vein carry pure blood or oxygenated blood, the blood which is rich in oxygen, it carries that pure blood from the heart and bring that pure blood to the it carries that pure blood from the lungs and carries it to the heart. So all veins, they carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. One more thing, two main veins are there, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. So two main veins are there. Superior vena cava brings all impure blood from the upper part of the body, and inferior vena cava brings all impure blood from the lower part of the body, and they bring that blood, impure blood, to the right auricle. So two main veins are there, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Now students, next type of blood vessels, third type of blood vessels are capillaries. So capillaries are the extremely thin walled blood vessels which connect arteries to veins. They are generally one cell thick walled blood vessels and they connect arteries to veins. So capillaries are present, or they're always present in between the arteries and veins in our body. So these capillaries are present throughout our body, and every cell of our body is near a capillary. So the capillaries have extremely thin walls which allow substances to pass from blood into the body cells and also from the body cells into the blood, and this process takes place by the process of diffusion, means exchange of substances takes place by the process of diffusion we have studied already, the movement of molecules from their higher concentration to lower concentration. So the oxygenated blood from the arteries enter into the capillaries in all the parts of the body, because arteries and veins, they are connected by capillaries. So oxygenated blood from arteries, they enter into the capillaries in all the parts of the body, and the various dissolved substances present in the blood like food or oxygen etc., they pass into the body cells through the thin walls of the capillaries, and at the same time the waste products like carbon dioxide formed in the body cells enter into the blood through the thin walls of capillaries. So the exchange of substances like food, oxygen, carbon dioxide between the blood and the body cells, they takes place through capillaries. So the other end of capillaries, they are joined to the veins. So deoxygenated blood means the blood which contains waste products like carbon dioxide coming from the capillaries enter into veins and carried back to the heart. So capillaries are the thin walled blood vessels which connect arteries and veins. Now the differences between arteries and veins. So arteries, we know they are located deep beneath the skin, while veins, they are located close to the skin. Arteries have three layered thick muscular walls. Veins also have three layers, but their walls are very thin, less elastic and less muscular. Then arteries have narrow lumen because walls are thick, so they are having narrow lumen in which the blood flows at very high speed and very high pressure. Whereas veins, they have wide lumen because their wall is very thin, so blood flows with low speed and low pressure. Arteries, they do not have any wall, and veins have walls which controls the unidirectional flow of blood. Then arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to various body parts except pulmonary artery. We know pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood. Veins, they carry deoxygenated blood from the various body parts into the heart except pulmonary vein. We know pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood. So this is all about differences between arteries and veins, and here the second part of the circulatory system completed, that is blood vessels, in which we have studied about arteries, veins and capillaries. Now we will see the third part of the circulatory system, that is the heart. Now students, we will see the third and last part of human circulatory system, that is heart. So heart is an organ which pumps blood to all the parts of our body through a network of tubes called blood vessels, and our heart beats continuously to circulate blood in the body. The heart works like a pump non-stop throughout our life. Our heart is located in the chest cavity, slightly towards the left side. The heart lies between the two lungs and above the diaphragm, and the size of the heart is equals to our fist size, means it is fist sized, hollow, muscular and conical organ which is located in the rib cage in between the lungs. So our heart has four chambers, that is two upper and two lower chambers. The two upper chambers are called auricles or atria. Atria is a plural word, its singular one is atrium. So upper two chambers are divided as right atrium and left atrium. Then lower two chambers are called ventricles, so they are also divided as left ventricle and right ventricle, and these four chambers are connected to the arteries and veins, and these left and right side of the heart are completely separated by a solid wall of tissue, and the tissue is called septum, while the upper and lower chambers are separated by valves. So left and right sides are separated by septum. As you can see in the diagram also, four chambers are there, that is right atrium, left atrium and right ventricle, left ventricle. These four chambers are these right and left chambers are separated by septum, and upper and lower chambers are separated by valves. And the heart is composed of heart muscles. As you can see, at the top of the left atrium, it is connected to a pulmonary vein. You can see in the diagram, the top side of the left atrium is connected to the pulmonary vein which brings oxygenated blood into the heart from the lungs. And the top side of the right atrium is connected to main veins. Two veins are there, that is superior vena cava, and that is written as upper vena cava and lower vena cava. So these two are main vena cava, that is superior vena cava, that is upper vena cava, and inferior vena cava as lower vena cava. And you can see septum also, which divides right and left side of the heart. You can see the aorta also, and this aorta is connected to the left ventricle, and further it is divided into arteries which are going to the bodies. So this is the diagram of heart. Next thing, the thickness of the walls of the heart is different in different heart chambers, and it depends on the functions of their heart chambers. So atria means auricles, they are thinly muscled, they are thin walled because they pump blood to the short distance to the ventricles below them. Means auricles have to pump blood just at a short distance. They have to pump blood in the ventricles only. And right ventricle is heavily muscled, means they are having, or ventricles, they are having thick wall because they have to force blood at further distances to the lungs. And left ventricle is also have thickest wall because it has to force the blood to all the way around the body. So what happened first? Deoxygenated blood enters the right atrium. You can see in this diagram, as you can see the upper vena cava and lower vena cava, and you are seeing the pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, and aorta as well. So what happened first? Deoxygenated blood means blood which is rich in carbon dioxide. That blood enters the right atrium, means these two upper atriums and upper chambers, right atrium and left atrium. So deoxygenated blood enters in the right atrium through the body's largest veins, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. And from that right auricle, blood travels to the right ventricle. Then it is pumped through the pulmonary arteries. As you can see, the blue colored pulmonary artery which is connected to the right side ventricle. So first of all, impure blood is collected by upper vena cava and lower vena cava, and they bring the blood, impure blood, in the right atrium. Right atrium pump this blood into the right ventricle, and from right ventricle this deoxygenated blood moves to pulmonary artery, and this pulmonary artery carries the impure blood to the lungs where it is oxygenated. So one more thing I want to remind you, how it is oxygenated. That thing we have studied in the previous chapter, that is respiration, where we have studied that when we inhale during the process of breathing, when we inhale the air, that air contains 21% of oxygen. So that inhaled air having oxygen which reaches to our alveoli, and we have studied that the wall of alveoli is completely surrounded by blood capillaries, that is where deoxygenated blood is present. So by the process of diffusion, carbon dioxide comes in the blood, in the air sac, and the oxygen which is present in the air sac through the process of inhalation, it mixes with the blood which is present in the blood capillaries, and that blood capillaries again, they bring the blood to the heart by the means of pulmonary vein. So when pulmonary artery take the blood from the right ventricle, it take the blood to the lungs, and where the blood is oxygenated, then this blood returns to the left atrium via pulmonary vein. So you can see pulmonary vein also, which is present in red color. Okay, so red color shows the pure blood. So that pulmonary vein brings the pure blood from the lungs to the left atrium. Means now left atrium consists of pure blood. So this type of circulation, this part of circulation is called pulmonary circulation, where the pure blood is coming to the pulmonary veins, coming through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium. So this part of circulation is called pulmonary circulation. Now this oxygenated blood from the left atrium, the left upper chamber, left atrium, it passes into the left ventricle and then is pumped to the body via the aorta. So this aorta, that red colored largest artery which is connected to the left ventricle, so this this oxygenated blood, which is first comes from the lungs through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium pumps it into the left ventricle, and left ventricle, it it is connected with the aorta, largest artery, aorta takes the pure blood, and then aorta divides into smaller arteries divides into arterioles, and they take the blood and they distribute this blood, they pump this blood through the whole body. So this part of circulation is called systemic circulation. So this is all about your structure and functioning of blood. Here you can see there is a systematic representation of blood, of the circulation. You can see all parts of body. One side it is shown as red colored, another side it is shown as blue colored. So blue color is showing that vena cava, which is in blue color. This vena cava brings that it carries the impure blood to the right side of the heart, and then pulmonary artery takes the impure blood and it takes the blood to the lungs. In lungs, blood is purified, and that purified blood is coming to the heart again by the pulmonary vein, and then from this left side of the heart, aorta is distributing this or pumping this pure blood to the all parts of the body. So this is just a representation of the working of the heart, or we can say circulation of blood. So it means, students, our circulation, blood circulation is double circulation, because two type of circulations are there, that is pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So now we will see what is the difference between single circulation and double circulation. So single circulation means when blood passes from the heart to the gills and then slowly round the body and back to the heart in a single circuit. Means first of all blood passes from the heart to the gills, then around the body, and then back to the heart in a single circuit. Then this type of circulation is called single circulation, and it is found in fish, and it takes place in two-chambered heart. But we are having four-chambered heart, so we are having double circulation. So mammals and birds, so we are mammals, that is why we are also having double circulation. So mammals and birds have a double circulation, that is a pulmonary circulation, means from the heart to the lungs and then to the heart. Means first of all blood passes to the heart from the lungs, from the heart to the lungs, and then to the heart back. So this type of circulation is called pulmonary circulation. And then systematic circulation means heart, from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. So this type of circulation is called double circulation, and it is found in four-chambered heart. Means four-chambered heart, or an organism should have two double circulation to take place. Now students, we will see heartbeat. We know that our heart is made up of cardiac muscles, and these walls of the chambers of the heart, they show rhythmic, means regular contraction and relaxation of the muscles. So this regular rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart is called heartbeat. And the normal human heart beats at a rate of between 60 to 80 times per minute, while this heartbeat goes up to 150 times a minute when a person is exercising or doing some muscular work. Then alternate expansion and contraction of the arteries means when blood passes through the throbbing movement in the arteries, so it creates alternate expansion and contraction of the arteries, which is called as pulse. And the number of times a pulse beats per minute is called pulse rate. So in adults, the normal pulse rate ranges from 60 to 80 beats in a minute, while in children, it is in between 80 to 100 beats in a minute. And there is an instrument which is used to measure the heartbeat, and it is called stethoscope. So, stethoscope is used by doctors to amplify the sound of heartbeat, and it consists of three parts, that is, chest piece, two earpieces, and a rubber tube, as you can see in the diagram also. So, chest piece carries a sensitive diaphragm at its bottom, and the diaphragm amplifies the sound of the heartbeat. Then, two earpieces are made of two metal tubes, and these are put into the ears of a doctor. And then a rubber tube joins the chest piece to the earpieces, and it transmits the sound from the chest piece into the earpieces. So, this is stethoscope. And then we will see blood pressure. So blood exerts a force against the wall of a vessel, and this force is called blood pressure. So blood pressure is measured by a sphygmomanometer, and high blood pressure or hypertension, it can lead to the rupture of an artery, and it can lead to internal bleeding. Then we will see how to keep our heart healthy. So blood supply to the heart muscles can be reduced by fatty substances such as we heard about cholesterol in the blood. So cutting down of the means when we reduce the amount of fat in our diet, it will help to keep the heart healthy. And this can be achieved by eating less of meat and chips and other oily or fat rich diet. So when fat rich diet is consumed regularly, what happens, a person becomes obese. As we all know, this puts extra strain on the heart, as it has to push the blood to the greatly enlarged body, and this extra strain on the heart and the accumulation of fatty substances in the arteries can lead to heart attack. And obesity can be overcome by eating a balanced diet. And about balanced diet, you all have studied in the 6th class. You all are very familiar to the balanced diet. So this is all about the second part of the chapter 11. Now we have completed all the three parts of human circulatory system. Now we will, in next video, we will see the excretory system, in which we will see human excretory system, including kidney and other organs. And then we will see the vascular system, that is the system which distribute the materials in the plants. So here some understanding based questions are there, that is, why do veins have valves? How does pulmonary artery different from other arteries? How many chambers are present in human heart? What do you mean by double circulation? Name the blood vessel which connects a vein with artery. What is heartbeat? And name the instrument which is used to measure blood pressure. So all these answers of these questions you will find from the video only. So first read the chapter, then do watch the video, and find the answer of these questions. Thank you, students.